In the name of Allah, the merciful, the compassionate. Let's look at the third fruit. The third fruit of oneness, of tevhid. This one looks specifically at conscious beings and especially at us humans. You know, the first fruit looked at the divine essence, the second at the universe, but this one is about us. When I say conscious beings, sure, angels are included. Their worship, their understanding, the way they derive pleasure from truth, it applies to them too. But here, we're focusing on the human side of things. Yes, with the secret of unity, believing that God is one and in control of everything, a human being becomes truly perfect amongst all created things. When a person grasps this secret of unity, when they see God's hand in everything, they gain a tremendous perfection within the universe. They evolve in their mind, their heart, their spirit. They start to see the truths in everything. They rise in faith. They ascend to the highest of the high. And they become the most valuable fruit of this entire tree of creation. Think of the universe like a huge tree. Plants and animals are its fruits too, but the human is the most precious one. Why? Because we are the ones who recognize the creator of the universe. We believe in him, we worship him, we love him, and because of that, we become the most delicate, the most perfect, and the happiest of all living creatures. God created us to be fragile, delicate, and because of that unity, he treats us with care. He sees our sensitivity and prepares the ground for us to live on, offering us his kindness. If a person doesn't understand this truth, or if they think there's no single ruler of the universe, then from another perspective, that same human becomes the most miserable creature in existence, the lowest of the low, the most helpless of animals, the most sad, suffering, and sorrowful conscious being. It's strange, isn't it? Without belief, you fall lower than an animal. Animals have a set level. They don't go up or down much, but a human, we can go right up to the highest peak or crash down to the lowest depths. Why is that? Why would we be the most miserable without faith? Because while we have infinite weakness and poverty, we also have infinite enemies and infinite needs. Think about it. We are born weak. We have enemies everywhere, sickness, disasters, things that threaten our lives from the earth and the sky. We have endless needs. But at the same time, we have been given such a complex nature, such diverse tools and senses. We are equipped to feel 100,000 different types of pain and to desire and taste 100,000 different types of pleasure. Just look at our daily lives. We feel pain from so many things. We get pleasure from so many things. And we have desires is us desires so big that only someone who rules the entire universe all at once could possibly fulfill them. For example, we want the spring to come. Who can bring the spring? Only the one who commands the whole universe. We want to live forever. We have this intense burning desire for eternity. We don't want to die. We don't want our lives to end. Now, who can give us eternity? Only a being who treats the entire cosmos like a palace. Someone who can close the door of this world and open the door of the afterlife just as easily as you close one room's door and open another. If we don't have that one to rely on, our intelligence, our heart, our feelings, all these amazing tools we have actually turn against us. They lose their value. They crash. Let me give you three examples to show you what I mean. First, take the mind, the intellect. It's our most valuable tool. If you have the secret of belief, your mind becomes like a diamond key. It opens up all the treasures of the universe. It understands the holy meanings of God. But if that mind sinks into disbelief, it becomes a tool of torture. It drags all the sorrows of the past into today. It drags all the terrifying fears of the future into today. It just torments you. Second, look at compassion. It's such a sweet, gentle feeling, isn't it? But without belief, compassion becomes a terrible disaster that burns you up. Think of a mother who has no faith in the afterlife. She loses her beautiful child. If she thinks that child is gone forever, lost in non existence, her compassion becomes a fire that destroys her. But with faith, she says, my child is waiting for me in heaven, and she finds peace. Third, consider love. Love is delicious, right? If you have the secret of unity, your love expands to fill the universe. You love everything as God's creation. You feel like a sultan. But without that belief, love becomes a tragedy because everything you love eventually dies. You love them, they leave. You love them, they vanish. If you think they are gone forever, your poor heart gets torn to pieces every single minute. Sure, people distract themselves with entertainment and sins to numb the pain, but the wound is there. Now, let me tell you about a feeling, a personal experience that pushed me towards this truth. Now, the author is narrating his personal experience. Let's read. Once I was up on a high mountain top, and suddenly my soul woke up. The fog of negligence lifted, and I saw death. I saw the grave in its full reality, naked, stripped of all disguises. It was terrifying. The desire for eternity inside me started screaming, rebelling against the idea of vanishing. I looked at all the people I loved, the heroes, the prophets, the saints, and the thought of them rotting away, turning off like lights, made my soul scream in pain. I looked for help in 6 directions. I looked at the past. It looked like a giant graveyard where everyone had died and disappeared. I looked at the future. It was just pitch black darkness. I looked up, just infinite, terrifying space. I looked down, to the right, to the left. Everywhere looked dangerous and sad. I was in despair. But then, the secret of belief, the secret of tawhid came to my rescue. It ripped open the curtain. It showed me the true face of reality. It said, look again. I looked at death, the thing that scared me the most. And I saw that for a believer, death isn't an execution. It's discharge papers. It's finishing your military service. It's moving from a dungeon to a garden. It's getting your paycheck. It's an invitation to the land of eternal happiness. When I realized this, I actually started to love death. I looked at the passing of time. I saw it wasn't destruction, it was like a cinema reel changing, or bubbles on a river reflecting the sun, sparkling, vanishing, and being replaced by new ones to keep the show going. It was a beautiful renewal. I looked at the past again. With the light of belief, I saw it wasn't a graveyard anymore. It was a meeting hall. It was bright and full of my friends who had gone ahead, waiting for me in the future. When I saw this, my heart filled with nothing but joy and gratitude. So you see, with belief, everything changes. Those terrifying tools of torture turn into keys of happiness. I've explained this in much more detail in other writings, especially in the treatise for the elderly, so I'll keep it short here. But understand this, without the one, we are nothing. With him, we are everything.